Welcome to HA After Dark. A little bit earlier than usual, but thank you so much for tuning in. And today was very, very interesting. It was really, really interesting when you look at Trump's tweets. And we're going to read them. We're going to read Trump's tweets, all of them, and they were just wonderful. But before I read Trump's tweets from today, it's really important to remember exactly what took place. Like, all of this is like becoming ancient history now. Like, just something 6 months or a year or 2 years old is like ancient history. But this is an article. I'll give you the CNN article. I find it very bizarre. Very bizarre. And to my super chat, thank you so much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. I find it, we have what, over 100, close to 200 now after 1 minute. It's going to be a good session. I find it very interesting that Robert Mueller would go ahead and interview for the FBI job under Trump. No doubt, the guy's not only part of the swamp, but has probably greater allegiance to Obama and Clinton than Trump. So why he probably just did like the interview as a courtesy, Trump. But Trump interviewed Mueller for FBI job today before he was tapped for special counsel. So I find that very bizarre. President Donald Trump interviewed Robert Mueller as a potential replacement for fired Director James Comey. The day before the former FBI director was named special counsel, a White House official said Tuesday. The official, who would not detail what the two discussed during the interview, said it took place on May 16th. Why would Mueller interview for a job with a guy that now he says possibly worked with Russia? How does that even work? I want to know how that works. Jamie Sullivan, good evening, sir. From Kyrgyzstan, with love. Thank you, Jamie Sullivan. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. So how does that work? If Mueller knew he was going to be named special counsel, it's unlikely he divulged that information to Trump. Well, why would he interview to be FBI director? Did he know? Was he picked? Why would he interview to be FBI director if he was already chosen to be special counsel? It doesn't make any sense. So it just doesn't make any sense. I want to know why. The shirt says Zappa, Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa. We need a Frank Zappa in this day and age. We need a Frank Zappa. He was actually what Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife, went after him and others for censorship. He was very much against censorship. So we need that type of, voice in this day and age. But President Donald Trump interviewed Robert Mueller as a potential replacement for James Comey the day before the former FBI director was named special counsel, a White House official said. This is June 13th, 2017, a little over, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, tiny bit over a year ago. NPR reported on Friday that Mueller was being considered to lead the FBI before being named special counsel. And the Daily Caller reported on Tuesday that included an interview with Mueller. Conservative media, led by Newsmax CEO and Trump friend Chris Ruddy, have suggested that the interview shows Mueller has a conflict in his special counsel investigation. Of course, the president did talk with him in the days before he was named special counsel. How on earth is Mueller special counsel regarding Trump-Russia collusion when he interviewed with Trump? How does that even work? So that right then and there is an enormous conflict of interest. You're going to go ahead and you're going to go ahead and you're going to investigate Trump. You're going to investigate Trump. You have to investigate Trump's ties to Russia. Oh, but by the way, can I work for you? How does that work? That's lame. That's stupid. Only a stupid person. Well, Democrats. How does that work? So, and then Rosenstein's like, yeah, he's good. Let's go ahead. So the guy just interviewed with Trump. Let's go ahead and make him special counsel. Okay, so let's get to Trump's tweets today, which are absolutely fantastic. They say that Trump's tweets are like, oh my God, there's Trump derangement syndrome. People are actually going to the therapist for Trump derangement syndrome. Like people, they don't even know what to do. It's awesome. Senor Cisco, if you're watching, thank you so much. That's pretty awesome. The graphic. It's so awesome. Thank you, Senor Cisco. Thank you. Very, very cool. So this is like, oh my God, I have Trump derangement syndrome, doctor. Well, what are you feeling? I just don't know. I feel very... Elizabeth Luker, matching Jamie, if you can, let's keep this match going. HA keeps us all informed, and I appreciate the dedication. Much love. Elizabeth Luker, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very much, Elizabeth. And I am going to ask all of you to just diagnose my Trump derangement syndrome. Elizabeth, thank you as always. You are so sweet and kind. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Trump derangement syndrome. It's horrible. There's a 4.1% GDP growth this quarter. The economy's good. We have peace, hopefully, between North and South Korea. Kim Jong-un and Moon Jae-in shook hands for unprecedented. They've had a war since 1953. They've been at war since 1953, but under Trump's foreign policy, there's no more. There's at least a détente. Oh my God. And he worked with Russia because the NSA said they're moderately confident, but they don't have any proof. But you just wait. There is proof. There's proof somewhere. There's no way he won. There's no way he won. There's no way that Trump won. She outspent him 2-1 and still lost, Clinton, because she actually did cheat. No, that's just the way the game is played. That's how they think, by the way. That's just the way the game is played, don't you know? It's just the way the game is played. Cold Warrior. How do you know when I have Monday off and can stay up all effing night? Cold Warrior. Elizabeth Luker, thank you so very much. Cold Warrior, Sessions voice, please. Hi, Mr. President. How are you today? This evening? I'm good. Yes. Well, it's all going down. We're opening up this can of worms. We're going to open up a can of whoop behind. Yes. Well, we got the Office of Professional Responsibility going after Peter Strzok, Stroky Poo, going after, well, we already did Andrew McCabe. Yes. And they're going after Lisa Page, who flipped and sung like Mary Lou Retton, and Celine Dion. Yes. Yes, the Office of Professional Responsibility is going after James Comey. He's not your homie. Yes. I am not the worst AG in history. Are you serious? Oh, you're joking. Okay. Mr. President, I have feelings, you know. I'm a human being. If you prick me, I bleed. That's Shakespeare. Now we're going to get everybody. The Office of Professional Responsibility is going to get them. We're going to Gomerize them. They're going to be Gomerized and tenderized. Okay, poo-poo out. Bye. Jennifer Mills, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer Mills. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know anyone with Trump derangement syndrome? Cold Warrior, thank you. Elizabeth Luker, thank you. Jennifer Mills, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Do you know anyone with Trump derangement syndrome? Ignore them. It is not your job. I've learned the hard way. It is not your job to make them better. Okay? They're going to get better 2024. Okay? After they've realized they've lived under they've lived under the spell of CNN. It's not your job. Don't talk to them about how Trump is, there's a great economy. Let them spew their nonsense and just enjoy your lunch. Just ignore them because they are stuck in a cult. Once they fail to get the 24 seats, really quickly, before we get to this, I have to do this just because I always have to go and do this. So, Democrats, 24 seats. Democrats, 24 seats. Congress. All right. So, to reclaim the House, Democrats need to flip 24 GOP seats. 25 are in Clinton territory. Yeah. And you're assuming that they're going to keep all their seats already. They need to keep all 190 seats. And flip 24 ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. Not going to do it. It's my old school George W. Herbert Walker. Not going to do it. Dana Carvey. It's not that great, but that's the New York Times. Ain't going to happen. To reclaim the House, Democrats need to flip 24 GOP seats. 25 are in Clinton territory. Yeah. One thing you need to know, like, for example, in California, the Republican strongholds are really Republican strongholds. They're surrounded by, ultra-liberal locations. So if you're a Republican in California, you're really Republican. You go out to vote. So it's not that, like, the conventional wisdom is like, well, they're in Clinton territory. Yeah. But you also have to remember, why are there Republicans in Clinton territory? Because it's within a congressional district that is extremely conservative. You have to be pretty conservative to be a Republican in a blue state. And it's not like the Republicans in blue states are not like blue dog Democrats. They're not like, well, guns are, we need gun control. No, they're like Second Amendment. They're pro-life. So it's not like, or with the abortion thing, a little bit. Sometimes you can get Republicans that are like, but most other issues are like, immigration, all that stuff. So it's not, there are rhinos who play ball with Democrats, but there aren't many rhinos that just totally give up on core issues. That doesn't happen. Democrats, Connor Lamb won in Pennsylvania, and he'll lose that seat because I think his seat is up also, because the incumbent, by the way, was a pro-life religious guy who his mistress, he thought he got his mistress pregnant. And on Facebook, she tore him a new one. Devin Weston, some ammo money, bro. Thanks for the live. Comey isn't your homie. Thank you, Devin. Thank you. And this week, I'm going to pick up my 4th firearm purchase, ladies and gentlemen, in several months. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's awesome. It's awesome. Very affordable. And for what it is. And it's just awesome. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I'll just give you a clue, it's the rival of my rifle. So if you know the rifle that I have, Stormy, you're awesome. But anyway, so Devin Weston, thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you, Devin. Yeah. And so like when you purchase firearms in California, other places, like you have to like, well, obviously there's a background check, but you also have to think like, is it going to be like, you got to get the, you got to get all your paperwork because you just don't know. You just don't know if, heaven forbid, they're going to ban something. Ban, 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 ban. That's what they do. That's why I bought my Smith & Wesson 10.5-inch 50 caliber Smith & Wesson round revolver. I don't know when California is going to ban, but I bought it before there was any ban. So I don't, but you have to go through a background check. You have to go through a 10-day waiting period. It is difficult. And then next year in California, you have to get a firearm safety certificate for ammo. Hello. That's next year. And then they want to do a 10-day, I think a 10-day waiting period for ammo as well. So you're going to have a whole lot of people buying a whole lot of ammo. Like each go around, which makes no sense at all. Tamara Friedman, thank you so very much, Tamara Friedman. Thank you. Thank you, Tamara Friedman. Thank you. And then we have open carry. So the Ninth Circuit Court, open carry, Ninth Circuit. Ninth Circuit Court ruling crushes gun grabbers. Ninth Circuit Court ruling. Yes. So anyway, Tamara Friedman, thank you so very much. To reclaim the House really quickly before we get to the Mueller probe, because this is exactly, look, if the Democrats, after throwing everything they have at Trump, including the kitchen sink, everything they have, after throwing everything they have, and yet still not getting the House or the Senate, they're going to be a defeated party. An absolutely defeated party. You're going to have somebody with a lot more guts and passion and energy and intelligence and wisdom than Paul Ryan. Scooter 513, thanks HA for all the great reporting. Thank you, Scooter 513. Thank you, Scooter 513. Thank you. You're going to get. They won't accept defeat, but they will be defeated party. They won't accept it. They'll say, well, we got them where we want them. They have to flip 24 GOP seats. Ain't going to happen. Democrats hope to ride a wave of liberal enthusiasm. Yeah, right. And anti-Trump sentiment, not in an economy that's booming. Sorry. All 435 House seats are up for grabs, but only 48 seats are considered competitive. Okay. And it says here there's only 22 toss-ups. They need 24. Just basic math, they're not very good at in terms of, this is March. Things have gotten worse for Democrats. I don't care what the polls say. I really don't care what the polls say. The polls were abysmal regarding Clinton as well. The same type of thing is taking place now. In fact, we see the same cult-like mentality. So I wouldn't doubt the polls are just as off as they were with Clinton. You have a walkaway movement. You have infighting within the Democratic Party. And as a former progressive, former liberal, Democrats hate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm not talking about like progressives. I'm talking about the I'm with her crowd hates her. I don't hate her. I don't have anything against her. Even though I'm not a progressive anymore, I hope she does well, and I'm glad she won. I mean, I'm voting Trump. And there's a lot of things that I don't agree with her on. Specifically, I don't agree with, I guess, the mentality that you should just forgive the DNC for cheating Bernie. But that's more Bernie than Ocasio-Cortez. I would like her to actually also say, bring our soldiers home. Use that phrase. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's actually a very progressive, liberal thing to say. But anyway, all 435 seats are up for grabs. 526 people. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the link. When you want to feel good, go ahead. JB Goff, Dems will say, Ma, Russia interfered again. If they lose, that's JB Goff. I want them to, because they'll look so stupid. They're already saying that nobody cares, and they won't even have the political will to keep it up. They won't have the political will to keep it up. And they'll retreat further back into their. So there's 22 toss-ups. And you're going to have the average voter a lot older who votes in midterms and a little bit more conservative leaning. So the House does not look good. The Senate looks even worse. To reclaim the House, Democrats need to flip 24 GOP seats. 25 are in Clinton territory, but it says right here, ratings for each House rates 22 toss-up. If there's 22 toss-up and 16 are lean, 172 are solid, 26 are likely, and then there's for Democrats 10 lean, 7 likely, and only 182 solid. So there's 22 toss-ups, and there's no enthusiasm at all. 22 toss-ups and no enthusiasm at all. The bot 2007, Trump's base has been steady, but independent support has been dropping. Can that be a factor for midterm? I think it could be, but I don't know how much is in. I don't think independents, though, are flocking. I don't think independents are flocking to Democrats, though. And then support for Trump. Let's see. Trump remains unpopular, but approval ratings rise as more independent voters support president. Poll shows this is March. You might be looking at a recent poll. So the bot 2007, you might be looking at a more recent poll. But again, these polls are like, I mean, Trump remains unpopular, but approval rating rises as more independent voters support Trump. So it's a American Research Group on Wednesday. This is on March. So 7 days ago, this is Daily Kos. Oh, yeah. Well, as Trump solidifies base, he and the GOP shed independent support. Yeah, again, I wouldn't trust much that comes from. In a new NBC Wall Street Journal poll. Okay, here we go. Let's look. So I just read you a March poll that said he's increasing with independents, but then I don't see why independents would not like a good economy and peace between North and South Korea. And I don't see why independents would want people like James Comey and Clapper and all of them, influencing the government. So the good news for President Trump, the latest NBC poll, half of which was conducted before the day of the Helsinki presser with Putin. Well, I mean, yeah, half of which was conducted after. The poll is completely irrelevant. That media frenzy was the most absurd Orwellian. They were upset with Trump because he didn't punch Putin in the face. You better not hack the DNC again to let them know that, to let everybody knows that, to let everyone know that they were cheating Bernie. 88% of Republican voters in the poll approve of Trump's job. There you go. What, almost 90%? That's good. The highest of his presidency. That's what he needs. The bad news for the president is his standing, plus the GOP's is now worse with independents than it was a month ago. Just 36%, down 7 points. Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about immense media push. They can't, there's really not much the media can do. It obviously is going to affect people who are not really into politics, like you and I. We look at this stuff every single day. We look at this stuff every single day. We don't have Trump derangement syndrome. I don't have Clinton derangement syndrome either. I just say what's taking place. She did commit crimes. That's it. And then you get these polls, 5% of Democrats, 9% of Democrats either strongly approve or somewhat approve of Trump. So that's just bizarre, you know? It's just bizarre. It's just bizarre. You know, independents prefer Democratic-controlled Congress by more than 20 points. I don't believe that at all. 48% to 26%. I don't believe that at all. I don't really care what this poll says. I don't believe it. Just like I didn't believe the polls that said that she possibly could win Arizona or Texas or North Carolina. It's a bunch of nonsense. Independents are walking away from the Democratic Party. Elizabeth Luker, thank you. No need to worry, Pats. Just close your eyes and think back to election night map. Yes. Beautiful sea of red. Midterms will be red wave, and 2020 will be even more glorious. Polls have been proven to be BS. Absolutely, Elizabeth. Absolutely. And I want to tell everybody, this is not about value system. This is not about policies. I'm like the anti-Max Boot. Very likely, a lot more people know who Max Boot is than know who I am. But I am the opposite. Max Boot's like, vote Democrat because I'm a principled conservative. If you're a principled conservative, Max Boot, with all due respect, thinks that he's an historian, a very accomplished historian. He's written a lot of very well-reviewed books. He was also in favor of Iraq, and he thinks Iraq is a good thing. So does Bill Kristol. He thinks that we were right to invade Iraq. He's voting Democrat now. I'm the opposite of that guy. I'm the opposite of that guy. And he is a Republican. I'm a registered Democrat, and I'm telling everyone, all 579 people, listen to me very clearly. Listen to me, all 580 people. No matter where you are in this country, you vote. You vote this November, and you vote GOP. I don't care what, I mean, believe me, there are a lot of things there are some policies that I don't really care for. It doesn't matter. You cannot have Adam Schiff. You cannot have, Hillary Clinton essentially controlling the intelligence community once again. You can't have Adam Schiff obstructing. I mean, it's a slow process right now, and we have Devin Nunes and we have Bob Goodlatte as the head of these congressional committees. You vote Republican, and you do so for the future of the country. You don't go ahead and say, yeah, James Comey and the Steele dossier and, that's not that big of a deal. It's very much a big deal. The biggest conspiracy theorists are people who are pumping the Trump-Russia myth. They were livid and they were so angry that we have good relations or better, Trump is a lot more, he's going after whatchamacallit, Democrats a lot more than Obama did, but they were so angry. So Elizabeth Luker, you're 100% right. They were so angry that he didn't punch Putin in the face. Freedom 13220091001. What's up, my Jewish brother? Do you have any thoughts about CNN trying to get InfoWars banned from Twitter, Facebook? Let me see. You know what? This thing is like, it's too much with YouTube deletes 4 videos and goes, Facebook suspends personal profile of InfoWars. The only thing, like, this is the thing. So he suspended Alex Jones, but not InfoWars. The whole thing, he should not have. There's one thing that he should never, ever have done. And it's regarding, let me just see exactly, because I haven't paid attention to exactly what he said, but he should never, ever, ever, ever. He should never, ever, ever, ever. Hold on one second. He should never have said Sandy Hook did not happen. That's just, it's just now, that doesn't mean that Alex Jones doesn't actually have a good take on a lot of things. David Kaplan, love listening to you. I figured out who you sound like. Johnny Carson. That is a compliment. I love Johnny Carson. David Kaplan. I love Johnny Carson. Love Johnny. Well, if he didn't say that, I'm wrong then I apologize that I'm wrong. Okay. Well, then I'm wrong. But I was just reading something that says, trying to find articles that said about what he said. So, but he shouldn't even have weighed in on it. Papa D, 5 minutes late. Mark Levin guest was Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. He's awesome. Freedom 132209101. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, I don't think he's facing defamation lawsuits now, but I don't think that he should even have spoken about that, because don't say things that there are parents grieving. You don't want to go ahead and it's just not, for any tragedy like that, you just keep a distance. That's what I say. Just keep a distance. You know, I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. Because, okay, so if they edited things, but that's what I'm trying to say is that, you know, and that's not to say that, you know, there's a lot of things that he says that make sense, but, you know, some things get lost in translation, or I don't even know exactly what he said, but I would have stayed away from that stuff because parents are grieving, and it's probably the most heinous thing. No, you should talk about Vegas. That's fine. But I would, you can't go Russian collusion on things. The reason the Democrats can go Russia collusion on things because they have the idiotic James Clapper and Comey, and they say, well, we're moderately confident. And then they can get away with it. So the media says, well, I'm moderately confident. Look at this. And then so it's very similar. They are conspiracy. I'm not saying that they are conspiracy theorists with Trump Russia. But go ahead. If you are just, you know, you definitely talk about it if you are into politics and, you know, but if you have this mega platform, you don't want to go and say anything that could hurt people grieving, especially the most heinous thing. That's just my 2 cents. You know, I mean, it could be wrong. It's my 2 cents. That being said, I think that CNN has no business trying to ban InfoWars from anything. They've pumped fake news from Clinton winning to Trump being a menace to WikiLeaks giving Trump Jr. information, all that stuff. So they pump fake news all the time. Elizabeth Luker, thank you. David Kaplan, thank you. Here's Johnny. Thank you, David Kaplan. No, I mean, I'm not down with any, I'm not down with, like, I don't even, like, this is the thing. I don't think Joy Reid should be fired, but under the rules of liberal groupthink, she should be. She wrote anti-gay blog posts. If she apologized, if you write something offensive and you apologize, Roseanne Barr should never have been fired. Why was Roseanne Barr fired and not Joy Reid? It's a double standard. And it's not just that. It's this whole thing. Oh my God, look, why is that Hollywood producer fired? Because he works for Disney. Look what he said also. It's disgusting. Papa D, my inner Democrat, says, leave 10 minutes early. Thank you, Papa D. Do I think JFK? No. I mean, that's something you can, like, I mean, now that I'm into the Second Amendment and I'm part of the Second Amendment community and I'm part of the NRA and I've learned a lot more about firearms, the bolt action rifle within 7 seconds, 3 shots, and apparently, and if this is actually what took place, they had the most renowned sniper. So Jesse Ventura. Who's the Carlos Hathcock? Carlos Hathcock is the greatest sniper in U.S. history. And Jesse Ventura's, like, he couldn't even do it with that bolt action rifle. So, and that is something where you learn a little bit more about firearms and you say, okay, well, wow, that's true. You know, moving target, an old bolt action rifle that's really not very good. So anyway, but so they have to. They're trying to ban me. HA, pick me up ASAP. Thank you. Thank you. HA Goodman's new purchase. So to reclaim the House, Democrats need to flip 24 GOP seats. This ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. 22 toss-up. Have fun with that, Democrats. And I don't care if they get 20. I don't care if they get 20. Because they're not going to get the impeachment votes. They're not going to get the impeachment votes needed. Then they're going to have to do the same thing they're doing in the Senate. Oh, well, you know what? We can go ahead and we might get this person and that person to not vote for Kavanaugh. Not going to do it. So, Elizabeth Luker. Curious question I have. If you think John is alive, press 1 to John. Oh, JFK Jr.? I don't think so. He passed away. Or he died. Are you talking about JFK Jr.? John? Elizabeth, thank you so much as always. You should try doing predictions as Karnak the Magnificent. Johnny Carson impersonation. I have in this envelope Hillary indictments. Elizabeth Luker, thank you. Here's my take on things like that. There are things like JFK's assassination, and there are things like there are other things that, you know, did happen. Not just because one conspiracy could have very well taken place doesn't mean others are conspiracies. So that's what I think. Both people who say, don't trust any conspiracy theory or any conspiracy, or I think that it works both ways. Sometimes things don't make sense. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. Okay, so let's just go ahead really quickly. Therapists. See, okay, so I told you about this. My friend Sean, my buddy Sean. HA, if we were driving these idiots insane, I'm going Trump twice as hard. They're going nuts. They're going crazy. They have Trump derangement syndrome. They have Trump derangement syndrome. David Kaplan, thank you. Elizabeth Luker, thank you. As always, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. So, all right, so let's go ahead. So let's look at his tweets, because his tweets were awesome. And they're like, oh my God, his tweets are crazy. They're so crazy. And it's like, well, nothing really crazy about it. Is Robert Mueller ever going to release his conflicts of interest with respect to President Trump, including the fact that he had a very nasty and contentious business relationship? I turned him down to head the FBI one day before appointment as special counsel, and Comey is his close friend. Also, why is Mueller only appointing angry Dems, some of whom have worked for crooked Hillary and others, including himself, have worked for Obama? And why isn't Mueller looking at all of the criminal activity and real Russia collusion on the Democratic Podesta side? Dossier, exactly. Exactly. Frank! As always, thank you, Frank. Holy crap, I took a nap and you're still chatting live. We just started going on an hour now. Frank, Roseanne got fired for voting for Trump. ABC, even though #1 show in years, ABC needs to learn their ABCs. Exactly, Frank. Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you. And the interesting thing is, like, really quickly, Trump derangement syndrome is an example of people who don't understand the meaning of hypocrisy. If you deport 2.5 million people using ICE, don't complain about ICE. Don't complain about ICE. Okay? Don't complain about ICE. Don't complain about Obama using U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. If he used it with impunity, without any, these issues are not vapid issues. Papa D 264 Winchester Mag. Wow. It's pretty awesome. Wow. And that's why I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, trust me, like pay attention to what I'm about to tell you right now, and you will thank me for watching this live stream. All 646 people, and if you when you watch this in the upload, listen, I'm serious now. People who have Trump derangement syndrome are not to be, you don't address them regarding this topic. Talk about sports, talk about life, talk about the wife, the husband, the kids, golf, the Brexit, grandchildren. Pretend you're Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton. Do not speak to people with TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, about Trump. They think we're living in the Depression era economy where everyone's selling apples on the street and, there's speakeasies. Don't talk to them They don't care about. They've already disregarded North Korea as a threat. They don't care. They think that Trump declared war on Iran through a tweet. They don't. They're completely lost. They think James Comey is a man of character. They look at James Comey's tweets about Iowa. Look, the growth is really good this year. I'm like, you're one of the biggest scoundrels in U.S. history. You're worried about the growth. They think Strzok is an honest guy. Do not, and you're going to thank me. And test it out. Next time you go ahead and there's Trump derangement syndrome, you're at a lunch, office lunch, you're at the water cooler, you're at a family gathering, you're with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, don't bring it up or let them talk. I just hate Trump. He's just this crazy guy. Oh, the Democrats they're going to win, It's just look at them. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's good, honey. That's good. Yeah, that's good. This salmon's really good. Yeah. And let them just get it through their chest. And that's it. It's it, So, and that's the thing. It's like, just don't. Remember, I told you not to. Just let them say whatever they want to say. It's useless. Any other way, it's useless. Jeff McDaniel. Sounds like you need to run out of Cali. So, can you let HA know Louis Gohmer's late tweets about Mueller? Oh, yes, Gohmerization. Hold on one second. Louis Gohmer is in the house. I love Louis Gohmer. He's awesome. Nice. Gohmer. His pin tweet. What I have accumulated here is absolutely shocking upon the realization Mueller's disreputable, twisted history speaks to the character of a man placed in a position to attempt to legalize a coup against a lawfully elected president. Exactly. But hold on. U.S. economy growing at fastest pace since 2004. That's right. Jim Jordan officially announces bid for Speaker. Hello. You can't go wrong with Jim Jordan. You can't go wrong with Devin Nunes. David Kaplan, do you think Republicans can possibly get 60 seats? Or can the rule be changed somehow to 51-49? Well, for Kavanaugh, it is the majority. The idiot Dems changed it. So Kavanaugh, they just need a simple majority. H.A., did you hear about Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg? I'm not a smart man, but I know what a boy love is. These people are sick. I have not. Frank, I have not. I have not heard about that. But generally, Hollywood is filled with a bunch of, but I don't know anything about Hanks and Spielberg. But thank you, Frank. Dan Followsby, H.A., remember FISA backwards as if. Dan Followsby, yes. Frank, I haven't heard that. Freedom 132209101. With GDP over 4%, the economy booming and job numbers up, what we all really want to know is who would win in a fight between Sessions and Rosenstein. I don't know. Maybe Rosenstein. Or maybe Sessions. Who knows? Sessions looks like a little keyboard elf who would like just gnaw at a person's arm. I don't know. I just don't want to see that even. I don't even want to think about it. I'd rather think of Hillary Clinton doing yoga stances. Do you want to hear Hillary, everybody? Huh? The first yes. If I hear a yes, we're going to do it. Do you want to hear one of Hillary's speeches? Let me hear. Do you want to hear Hillary Clinton's lovely voice? Yeah. Yes. Okay. I was being facetious, but let's do it. All right. I like this crowd. Tough crowd. Okay. Let's look at Hillary. She's fantastic. She's running again in 2020. Hillary Clinton committed a myriad of crimes. Greg Jarrett, of course, 4 days ago. Never gonna add. Server. Let's take a deep breath. Listen to the soulful sounds of Hillary Clinton. The soulful, soulful sounds. You should listen to this before you go to bed tonight. It's beautiful.
Deep breath here. Everything I did was permitted by law and regulation.
No, it wasn't. Liar.
Classified at the time it was sent, and information that was classified, nor am confident that I never sent nor received any information that was classified.
Wrong.
At the time it was sent.
Wrong. This when Trump was debating. I'm going through. I'm going yes. No. This is, you have to get hard. You have to get hardened. This is like boot camp for mental toughness. Listen to her.
And received.
That's not true.
Information. Listen.
What, like with a cloth or something? No. Well, no.
So in the end. FBI believes that you tried to wipe the entire story. You tried to wipe the entire, so that there would be no email, no personal, no official.
Well, my personal emails are my personal business.
No, they're not.
Right? So we went through a painstaking process and turned over 50.
My personal emails are my personal business. What planet does that even work in? The agenda. Can Donald J. Trump confiscate the DNC per his executive order server? That's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. Although the FBI, I believe, falls under his, he can fire and hire an FBI director. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't confiscate DNC. That's an amazing thought, and I don't know about that. I just don't know. It probably would be very difficult. Jeff McDaniel 100. I think he should. I want to think of Hillary in a cage and get potted plants to cure. Jeff McDaniel 100. Watering a plant. Jeff McDaniel. Well, I actually don't think she'll ever see jail, but I do think that I am virtually certain she will get charged. So the writing's on the wall. She's going to get charged. So just to pick a crime, any crime's a matter of time. The agenda, though, has a very interesting point. Could he just take, confiscate the servers? But apparently the FBI has all the servers and everything. So one person told me that Christopher Wray said the FBI is actually not conducting the email probe. It's the DOJ. It's the DOJ email probe. Here you go. The DOJ is conducting the email probe, not the FBI. The FBI is conducting the Clinton Foundation probe. So when Christopher Wray said, no, the probe's over, that he was talking about the FBI. But let's just finish this up.
55,000 pages of anything we thought could be.
What's this we thought stuff? Yeah, that's the problem. It's anything you thought. You are not. Who gave you the authority to find out, to decipher what should be given to the U.S. government? That's why we have freedom of information requests. This is the original fake news, by the way. They talk about every single thing. They talk about fake news.
Related. Under the law, that decision is made by the official.
Not when the official has top secret intelligence outside the U.S. government. See, nobody asked how she transferred. That would have been a simple question, would have sunk Clinton. I mean, Trump already won the presidency, but he could have, if he could have asked that, it would be game over.
I was the official. I made those decisions.
You were the official. Did you wipe this over?
What, like with a cloth or something? No. a cloth or something? Well, no. But like with a cloth or something? Well, no. What, like with a cloth or something? Well, no. What, like with a cloth or something? Well, no.
No, no, no.
I don't know how it works digitally at all. I do not have any. And I know you want to make a point, and I can just repeat what I have said. In order to be as cooperative as possible, we have turned over the server. They can do whatever they want to with the server to figure out what's there.
She gave the server. It was completely and utterly wiped, bleach bit, everything. She made a mockery of the intelligence community, an absolute mockery. An absolute mockery. Then you have vote red, exactly. If you ain't a Democrat, you a Russian. That's the new slogan here. Frank! Funny thing about Obama and Hillary is they are Chicago. Okay. Yes, I remember the fly. The thing with Chicago and other places, I will say this. This is my take on when you look at, I love Jacob Riis, the turn of the century sociologist and historian, and he wrote a book called How the Other Half Lives. It was like 1903, I believe. And he talked about crime in the tenements in New York and all, and he just, so what I'm saying is overpopulation and crime and poverty breeds crime. That's the main thing. No amount of gun control is going to stop that. But then that would require Democrats to actually look at the causes of violence. They like to say gun violence. If you just take out the guns, there's no more violence. But that's not the issue. So Frank, that's my I guess 2 cents on your the point you brought up. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. And actually, what did he say? What was it, Jacob Riis? Like at the turn of the century, the immigrants that were flooding the jails were like Jews and Irish, I think, or Jews, Irish, and Italians. I think that was I think that's what he said at the turn of the century, because these are recent immigrants going into the tenements in overcrowded cities. But let's just go ahead really quickly. I mean, they're already blaming Russia. So, you know. And then you have Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump refused to say whether he'd respect the results of this election. That's a direct threat to our democracy. Everything's a threat to the democracy. It's whatever they want to be a threat to the democracy. I think that the interesting thing will be that when they lose Congress, and they will, again, I mean, all the air will be just sucked out of their. All the air will just be simply sucked out of their political machine. Obama CIA chief made a secret visit to Moscow, according to the Gateway Pundit. So I can't verify that, but that's would be insane if that's true. And it was at 1.4, 1.6% GDP in 2016, and we now have 4.1%. Not bad. That's also what did Clinton in. I mean, a lot of factors. It wasn't Russia. They're so stupid. Jim Jordan for Speaker. Absolutely. I didn't see Bannon on Hannity, no. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that I love you all. God bless you all. 662. We're back on track. It was a couple slow days, but we're back on track, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you. Especially thank you to my super chat. And I am Sylar. Thank you so much. I didn't catch your super chat last time. But I am Sylar. Thank you so much, as always, for watching and your support for this channel. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will reconvene tomorrow. It's going to be, the Mueller probe is pretty much ending. Every single day it ends. I don't care. They're going to indict people who have nothing to do with Russian hacking. They're going to claim it's a victory. This is the most overt cover-up. And it's just so ridiculous. The whole thing is so stupid. And when they fail to win the House and the Senate again, they'll realize that they have nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, get some good rest. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Sweet dreams. God bless. Thank you so much for watching. To my super chat, thank you. We will reconvene tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're new to this channel, hit subscribe right now. Everybody watching, make sure you get all the notifications. Click all the notifications to this channel. That's very important. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.